Hey, what's up, guys? It is Thursday, November 15th, 2018, as I do this video, 4:18 a.m. Now, say about 30 minutes ago, I was in bed, gotten in bed, trying to sneak in a little sleep before work. I was going through my YouTube feed, adding videos to my watch later playlist uh, to play while I'm at work. And I was watching the Errol Spence video, and it made me think to check Victor Conte's Twitter. Now, um, I had heard yesterday that VADA was not being used for the Spence Garcia fight. Um, and I heard that Victor Conte had made some statements. So I thought, let me go to Victor Conte's Twitter and see if he said anything. So I did. I went there last night to see what he had to say. All right. Now, let me read you what he posted. All right. Let's see. He made the same post 3 times. All right. I think he kept doing it because he was not adding Errol Spence's name correctly to the first 2 tweets that he sent. One on November 13th at 11:19 p.m. The other one was November 14th at 3:44 p.m. And then the one that he got correct and finally added Errol's name correctly was at 6 p.m. November 14th. All right, which would be yesterday. All right, this is what Victor Conte said. All right, his Twitter is at Victor Conte. All right, boxing greatly respects Mikey Garcia as a fighter. It was at Mikey Garcia. Boxing greatly respects Mikey Garcia as a fighter and person. Errol Spence Jr. also deserves huge respect for his boxing accomplishments. However, I'm disappointed that there will be no VADA testing, for this fight. The health and safety of both fighters needs protection. Why, in capital letters, N-O, VADA. Why no VADA? All right. Now, in the first post he made saying that 225 likes. The next one 69 likes. The one that I just read 15 likes. Okay, so as you can see, not a lot of attention, not a lot of just not a lot of attention. All right, on these posts. All right, of course that troubled me because as I said, I've said how Mike Garcia needed to push for testing to begin immediately with Errol Spence. VADA testing, hell, and a hair sample. I've documented a lot how Errol Spence seemingly was no part of the clean boxing program because it's been almost 2 years and the man is not enrolled in the program after being dropped from the rankings by the WBC. All right, so I got some sleep, and I woke up, and like I said, I was about to go to bed again about 30 minutes ago. I was watching the video, and I thought, let me go back to Victor Conte's Twitter, and see if he said anything else, if there's been any changes. Read some of the comments or whatever that's been made. All right, and Victor Conte drops a bombshell. He posted on November 14th, yesterday at 9:30 p.m. He replied to someone who commented on his post. A guy named Ed_II Real. All right. He said to Victor Conte, considering the already well publicized size advantage, I have no idea why Garcia's team didn't push for VADA testing on Spence's part, especially in today's boxing landscape. All right, this is what Victor Conte said, the bombshell. My understanding is that there was a genuine push for at VADA testing for this at Mikey Garcia and at Errol Spence Jr. fight, and it was denied by the A side. Go figure. Boxing deserves leadership that supports clean sport, and especially in these more challenging type fight cases. You know, that's a big time bombshell, guys. Let me repeat again. My understanding is that there was a genuine push for VADA testing for this Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. fight, and it was denied by the A side. I think we all know who the A side is. You know, the reigning defending welterweight champion himself. As it's reading, Spence versus Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a challenger in this fight. I think without a doubt, clearly, the A side is Errol Spence. And we also know that Mikey Garcia is enrolled in the clean boxing program with VADA as a WBC champion. So he clearly would not and should not have a problem doing VADA testing. You know, Errol Spence is the champ, defending champ, and the A side in this fight. Victor Conte on his Twitter, he's supposedly has inside information. Victor Conte says that VADA testing was denied by the A side. Now somebody needs to tell me why does Errol Spence why would he deny VADA testing for this fight? You know, why would he not do VADA testing for this fight? You know, he is Mr. USADA, and I'm pretty sure USADA will be used for this fight. Now, after seeing that, and it was before 4 a.m. Central Time in the States, I sent Victor Conte a tweet asking Victor Conte, what was, basically what are the differences between VADA and USADA testing? I want to know if there are benefits, where somebody could get benefits or have a window using USADA or whatever, right? So I started doing my little research, man. And from what I have gathered, USADA is basically like UK anti-doping in the UK. From what I see, I can see why an Errol Spence or someone else maybe would want to use a USADA instead of a VADA. Now, I went to USADA's website. All right. If you go to USADA's website, at the top you will see substances. If you highlight that, select that link. At the top it says WADA prohibited list. All right. You click on that link. You will be at a page, www.usada.org/substances/prohibited-list. All right. On this page, it says WADA prohibited list. It has 2019 prohibited list, effective January 1st, 2019. On the right, it says related links. It has 2018 WADA prohibited list. On down, it has 2019 WADA prohibited list. All right. If you choose either of those links, you will see and read all of the banned and prohibited substances by USADA. But from what I have gathered, USADA basically follows WADA code, the World Anti-Doping Agency. That is the same code that UK Anti-Doping follows in the UK. The same code that would have allowed Billy Joe Saunders to use an inhaler to get benefits off of oxylofrene in training camp before his fight with Demetrius Andrade. allowing him to use it all the way up basically until a day or two before he tests for that fight. And as long as it's a 24-hour window, it clears the system. He tests on fight day, and maybe after the fight, as long as he don't pop, he good. He can use it all through training camp. All right. As Victor Conte said in the interview that he did some weeks back with the Ring Digital with Cynthia Conte, he did a long interview, got a lot of hits, a lot of views. People talked about it in videos. He said that how WADA is considered the gold standard by most, and it is not. And he explained why. And as I've said, if WADA, when I made the video criticized Dominic Ingle, I said if WADA gave guys a window to cheat, to do things, like they were going to give Billy Joe with the oxylofrene and say that it was fine, like UK Anti-Doping said, if that was the case, then they were not the standard. Because these things should be banned at all times. You should not have a time where you can use it, benefit, and then as long as you test clean on fight day, you're okay. And on these USADA prohibited lists, there is a section. The first section says in and out of competition. All right, there are some things listed. All right, if you go on down, there is an in competition section. In the in competition section, it has stimulants, and under the stimulants list, oxylofrene shows up. Oxylofrene was not on the in and out of competition section. I didn't even see a stimulant section on the in and out of competition section. And for stimulants, there were a ton of things listed. But for in and out of competition, it was not in that section. It was just an in competition. So then I thought to myself, well, what do they consider to be in competition with USADA? With boxing. What is in competition? So I did a Google search. I was trying to find out. I think I typed in USADA in competition boxing. All right. I found an article on USADA's own website, USADA.org/Mayweather-Pacquiao-USADA-testing. All right, it's titled Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao agreed to USADA testing for upcoming professional boxing fight. All right, let me go to the section that is relevant to what I am talking about. Let's see if I can find it here. All right. This is it's dated March 13, 2015. This is the third paragraph. Both fighters have already received education on the USADA program and have enrolled in the USADA registered testing pool by providing their whereabouts information so that they can be located for out-of-competition testing prior to the fight. Again, out-of-competition testing prior to the fight. All right. The only time that they were tested were the weeks leading up to that fight. This was not several months of testing. Because I highlighted this when I did the USADA testing exposed video on Errol Spence. The maybe like 2 months of testing for this fight. It was not 4, 5, 6, 7 months of testing. All right. So that they can be located for out of competition testing prior to the fight. USADA will also perform in-competition testing after the fight. Let me repeat that. USADA will also perform in-competition testing after the fight. So by USADA's own words, they considered out-of-competition testing prior to Mayweather-Pacquiao. They considered in-competition after the fight. So the way that's looking, it sounds like the UK anti-doping. This like they follow WADA code just like USADA does. So basically, it's kind of like what they were saying with Billy Joe. As I said, the oxylofrene only shows up on in competition with USADA. And by their own words, they consider out of competition prior to the fight, in competition testing after the fight. So in competition testing with them could only be the day before the fight and day of the fight. That's it. That's it, man. Didn't they say that the testing was the day of the fight? I believe so with UK anti-doping and Billy Joe and how they did things over there. In competition testing the day of the fight. So that could be the only time that they consider in competition with USADA, man. The day of the fight, after the fight. You know, um, that's bad, man. That's bad. That's what I'm against. All right. So again, it seems with USADA that you have a window. You have, you can do things. Possibly, days, and weeks leading up to the fight. As long as you don't pop on them day of the fight, no problem. All right. Um, as long as it's the in competition things. Now, if it's in and out of competition, you can't test for it at any time. But if it's in competition, looks like day of the fight. As long as you don't pop on it, you're okay. All right. Now, I went to VADA's website. All right. VADA-testing.org. All right. Let me go back because I want to give you the link. All right. Let's see. Okay. If you go to VADA's website, VADA-testing.org. At the top, you'll see policies. All right. You click on that. It says policies download. VADA prohibited list 2018. All right. Let me go back to that. All right. It says 1 through 10. It's a 10-page document. All right. Now this is the difference between USADA and VADA. All right. There's a paragraph at the top, and then it says VADA prohibited list. All right. Let me read this paragraph. Prohibited substances. The following classification groups and substances are prohibited at all times. At all times during participation in the VADA program. All right. The following classification groups and substances listed herein are not restricted to the specifically listed common or chemical names, nor are they restricted to these specific compounds or isomers listed below. Moreover, VADA has the right at any time to modify, edit, and add any substance or method according to any new laws, guidelines, VADA policies, or anti-doping ideals. All right. That first sentence is key. All right. The following classification groups and substances are prohibited at all times. At all times during participation in the VADA program. All right. So basically, everything that's on this list is, like they said, prohibited at all times. They don't say in competition, out of competition. Basically with VADA, if they consider it to be a banned substance, a PED or whatever, if it's banned, it's banned. You don't have no in and out of competition difference. It's banned at all times as long as you are participating in their program. With any of their tests. That's a big difference, man. That is a big difference. And I went down this list. Let me see if I can find it. Stimulants S6. What page is this? Let's see. It's not saying what page it is. But at the top it says S6 stimulants. All stimulants, including all optical isomers, EGD and L, where relevant, are prohibited. Stimulants include, and there is a long list. All right. And then it goes to B. Specified stimulants, including but not limited to, goes on down to a second page. All right. A ton of stimulants. Like I said, with USADA, there was not even a stimulus section for in and out of competition, just in competition. All right. So out of competition, apparently, they don't ban these stimulants. All right, and it's a long list. And on this list, it says oxylofrin. Clearly, it banned at all times with VADA. in and out of competition. You know, as long as you're in the program, you cannot, you cannot test for this, man. As long as they any VADA test, you cannot get away with taking oxylophrin. With USADA, they only consider it in competition as a prohibited substance. And with boxing, apparently that's the day of the fight, after the fight. By USADA's own words in that Mayweather Pacquiao article. So, as far as I'm concerned, guys, as I've been saying, VADA appears to be the standard, man, and USADA and UK anti-doping, not looking good, man. Not looking good. Seems to give guys, a window to do things, man. And Errol Spence, he has been rejecting VADA, and this could be the reason why, man. This could be a reason why. He is Mr. USADA. He did not enroll in the clean boxing program almost 2 years ago. The beginning of 2017, got dropped from the rankings because he did not enroll in the clean boxing program. And it's been almost 2 years, man. This guy has not enrolled, man. And now Victor Conte has dropped a bombshell. Let me read it again. My understanding is that there was a genuine push for VADA testing for Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence Jr. fight, and it was denied by the A side. Errol Spence was the A side in this fight. He is a defending champion, man. It is his belt being defended. The fight is being read as Spence versus Garcia. And like I said, Mike Garcia is a WBC champion. He is enrolled in the clean boxing program. He does VADA testing, man. VADA can test him anytime, man. Anytime during the year as a WBC champion. That's putting Mike Garcia at a disadvantage, man. That is putting Mike Garcia at a disadvantage. My personal thinking, I think Mike Garcia truly believes that he can and will beat Errol Spence, even without the VADA testing. But this puts Mike Garcia at a big time disadvantage, man, because, with him being enrolled in the clean boxing program with VADA, he has no window to do things like oxylophrin and all these stimulants. While, like I said, Errol Spence, long layout between fights with no testing. Then when he is testing with USADA, hell, if he wanted to, he could do things like oxylophrin and a bunch of other stimulants that would not, count as a failure unless he tested positive on them on fight day. That's bad, man. That's bad. And then think about it. If VADA wanted to, while this camp is going on and lead up to this fight, they could go test Mike Garcia. Mike Garcia could not use any stimulants because he would pop on VADA. Meanwhile, Errol Spence with USADA, if he was to use a stimulant, he would not pop because it's not in competition. It's not day of the fight. That's the difference, man. And that's what I have been screaming about for almost 2 years now. These guys are under different testing rule sets, man. One doing year-round testing with a bunch of banned substances, no leeway whatsoever. If you pop, you pop. The other guy, a big-time window between fights, and then when you saw the testing, hell, it's a shitload of stimulants he can do, and it would not count as a failure, man. Unless he popped on it, for testing day of the fight. So Mike Garcia, with a size disadvantage already. Now he has a testing disadvantage, man. It's terrible, man. This is terrible. And, I'm picking Mike Garcia to win this fight, man. I was going to come on, do a breakdown video of this fight, talk about the odds for the fight. Errol Spence has opened as a 4-1 favorite, man, minus 400. Errol Spence is in this fight. Let me I have it pulled up. Let me go to it right now. The line has moved a little bit. Some money has come in on Mike Garcia, which I think is foolish. I think anybody wanting to bet on Mike needs to wait, because these lines were just released, less than 24 hours ago. people are gonna throw money on Errol Spence, and I think the line's gonna get bigger with better odds on Mikey. But Mikey had gonna have a size disadvantage, possibly a power disadvantage, and a testing disadvantage, man. So I think that's it, guys. It's all been laid out, man. I wanted to know the reason why Errol Spence would want to use USADA instead of VADA. And I think I pointed out and highlighted the reasons why, man. USADA is basically the same as UK anti-doping, man. You can use things like oxyloferine throughout camp, and as long as you don't pop on the day of the fight, it's all good, man. Because they don't consider in competition testing to be day of the fight with boxing. So, I think that's it, guys. Let me know what you think, man. Where the Spencer characters at, man? Where the haters at? Victor Conte has dropped the bombshell that Errol Spence did not want VADA testing for this fight, Mr. USADA. And I have laid out the reasons, and you can pull it up for yourself. I gave you the links, how to get to the information. You can see the difference between a USADA and a VADA. VADA, if it's banned, it's banned. You can test positive for it at any time. Day of the fight, day after the fight, weeks after the fight, months after the fight, whatever. If you pop, you pop. With USADA, you have an in competition list, you have an in and out of competition list. In competition only day of the fight. So in out of competition, anytime before the day of the fight, a lot of damn things you can do, man, that you can't do with VADA, man. It's a big difference. So, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll check in with y'all soon, man. Thanks for watching.